Hi, I'm Sunny from LoreForged, and I'm here to talk to you about Ashes of Creation. All of our stuff's at LoreForged.com. Got the coffee in the mug, got the bow tie. Time to rock. Let's do this. We're going to talk about stock exchanges. Now, I know I wrote an article about stock exchanges, but I'm so excited about this. Honestly, like this is one of those things that I've never seen before in a game. You kind of have seen it attempted in some like real gold making, curbing, like gold farming type of stuff, but I digress. I will get there. Okay, so Ashes of Creation is a node game, right? You start out in the wilderness and you have, like, let's say you run into a node. There's nodes all over the planet, all over Vera, and there's a node where nothing has happened and nobody's been there. Well, it's gonna be a wilderness node, right? It's like nothing. It's just like a field. There's a deer and maybe an owl. We love owls around LoreForged, but there's nothing going on. And so you do some quests and you help out, maybe a local hermit, or I don't know, you chop a tree down. Well, the node starts to build up, right? That's how Ashes works. And eventually you get to a metropolis, years later, whatever. Somewhere in the way on there at like level 4 or 5, in particular kinds of nodes, you can have a stock exchange. Now, there's different kinds of nodes. There's economic nodes and there's religious nodes and there's military nodes, and it's kind of unclear as to which things will be in which nodes. Again, all of this is subject to change, but I think it's fair to say that in the economic nodes, you're more likely to run into this particular thing. So the stock exchange is different from an auction house. An auction house is where I have a good, like coffee. Coffee I want to sell on the auction house to whoever wants to buy coffee. Great, we all know how this works, right? We're MMO gamers, we've done this a million times. Not a big deal. We make our gold that way. The stock exchange is different. Think about a stock exchange as you are investing in a company, okay? That company then does good, does bad, the stock price changes. Now, normally a stock market works like this. It's all about supply and demand of the stock itself. Sometimes that can get pretty far askew from the actual value of the company, and you end up trading on like multiples of future earnings, and it gets really complicated. But the long and the short of it also depends on sectors. The long and the short of it is that it's not tied to a single thing. It's just how valuable that stock is. What is the demand of buying and selling that stock? In Ashes of Creation, in a stock market, they are going to put a stock as the node itself and the social organizations within the node. It's a little bit unclear on how this is going to work, but the long and the short of it is that you will have a stock, and then if things happen in that node, like let's say you continue to progress the node upwards and you do quests and you do things, then that stock is going to rise in value. So you could invest in a node that you plan on doing a lot of stuff in. Like Sonny rolls along and he's like, oh, I like this place. We are gonna set up camp here. So the first thing I'm gonna do is buy all the stocks that I possibly can, because it says right on here on the wiki that it's gonna be tied to hard metrics such as quest lines, resources, citizen progression, local real estate. So then as my guild does stuff and builds up the node and becomes a bigger deal, then the price of that stock will continue to rise. And if I ever want to, let's say, I don't know, manipulate the price of that stock, we could convince everybody in the guild to just like leave town and maybe abandon it, and then we could sell that stock at a high. Now, I don't know if you can go in reverse, like shorting a stock. That'd be wild. I mean, that would be absolutely bonkers, but you can definitely buy stocks and then do stuff, and I think that could be a lot of fun. If you can find out where the action's going to be happening, you might want to get into those stock exchanges and buy up as much stock as you possibly can, knowing that it is continuing to rise. Stonks go up. That is what the meme says. What a cool idea, right? Super, super fun way to make money. Also on the wiki, there is one last thing that says there is no regulatory commission to restrict the purchase and sale of stocks. No Federal Trade Commission? Okay. We'll just have to see how that plays out. Other than that, I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm very much looking forward into it because there's nothing that makes me happier than making gold in an MMO. So peace, love, and honeybees, and we'll see you at the market. Start the clock.